toughest business questions, addressing the most pressing issues our business community faces today. We dive into the core of business growth and strategic development. Whether you're launching a startup, managing a growing business, or refining an established enterprise, we're here to provide you insights that you need. Get ready for candid conversations and practical advice that you can implement today. Stay with us and let's grow your business together.
We are here.
Hi, Simone.
We're on air.
For now.
We are. We are. Yes. We've just had a few technical difficulties, but nevertheless, we are here and we are here to talk about customers today. I thought this was a really great topic of discussion, and I think it means so many different things to business owners or to yourself as a customer. So let's dive straight into this today. I wanted to ask you, Kristian, what does it mean to understand the customer journey? I think this is something that's kind of been thrown around, that we need to know what this is and we need to have some expectations around this. I'd really love to know from your perspective, what is a customer journey?
Well, Simone, look, the customer journey actually refers to the complete experience that a customer has within your business. Okay, let's not overcomplicate it. Really, from the first point of contact through to the purchase, the follow-up, and beyond, right? How complex you make it is up to you. It encompasses every interaction, both big and small, but predominantly it captures the things that shape the customer's perception of your brand. Understanding this journey is much more than just mapping out touch points. And that's where people get stuck. It's actually about emphasizing with the customer, emphasizing with their entire experience and recognizing their needs at every stage and ensuring that those needs are, met, but met effectively, right? So I guess some of the key components that the customer journey requires, awareness, consideration, decision making, retention and advocacy. And what do I mean by those 5 points? I mean, look, awareness is where does your customer actually become aware of your business? Consideration is, the customer is evaluating your offers against their needs and, say, other competitors. The decision, is where does the customer actually decide to purchase your product or service? In terms of retention, it's that post-purchase experience. So the journey continues well and truly after that. Some people only have one product, and that's great. Other people have multiple products. You can't really come to us and buy once off the way we've built our business. We very much are about bringing you in and keeping you in and getting you results. And then finally, it's that advocacy piece. If they have that positive experience, what does a customer do next? So how do they share that experience with it? Is it a LinkedIn endorsement? Is it a recommendation? Is it a Google review? Is it a video back to you? So I think that's what it all means to me. But why does it actually matter? It's probably some people are saying, well, that's great, Kristian, but why does it matter? Understanding the customer journey allows you to create, Simone, a more customer-centric business approach. And what that means is it helps in identifying the pain points, enhancing that customer experience, increasing the customer satisfaction, but ultimately it fosters loyalty and advocacy. Okay, aka raving fans. All right, and that's so many people get that part wrong, but that's what it is. It's all about creating raving fans.
Okay, so you started to dive into my second question there. So what I sort of took away from that first question is it's really putting you're stepping into your customer's shoes to understand what it looks like from their perspective and how they're perceiving everything from their first interaction with you through that whole kind of journey. And then it's really important to understand that so you can really map out, are they having a positive experience, and how you have that retention. Is that kind of the most important part of really being in depth and understanding the client and customer journey?
Look, I think it's all of those things. I don't think there's any one of those that's least or more important. The fact is that if you want to succeed, I walk into a lot of businesses that have an excellent front end customer journey, but their follow up post sale is shithouse and it kills their brand. And then they always say to me, but Kristian, how come I can't generate any referrals? And I go, your experience is shit. You under deliver and you over promise. So that's got to be an element that then I've met other people who deliver brilliantly, and yet to buy from them is one of the hardest things you could ever possibly imagine, right? So there's all of these things that have to be, they have to be considered. I think, a really good example of actually is kind of Starbucks, because Starbucks provides a prime example of that effective customer journey management. And what do I mean by that? They focus heavily on the customer experience at every point of interaction. So all 5, from the aroma, right, in their stores, to the personalization of coffee orders, and also the mobile app experience. So their rewards program then further enhances their journey by adding value, Simone, post-purchase. And what does it do? Is it encourages repeat business and creating brand advocates. So, you can't just put any weight on one. It's got to do with a lot of it. And so, but I think the key is you have to understand the detail. You have to have a detailed understanding of your customer journey blueprint, right? So, I'm assuming you're going to go somewhere with that.
Yeah, I guess that's why they're calling it a customer journey or the customer experience, right? And I'm sure through each of these touch points, that's when you can kind of make these other critical decisions on where you might offer an upsell or a complementary product or service. Does that kind of give you insights for that as well?
Yeah, I mean, look, the main reason why we encourage people to do it. So I'm just having my Colombian decaf. The reason why we encourage people to build their customer journey out is because it creates an enhanced customer experience. Okay, a detailed blueprint allows you to anticipate your customers' needs and address them proactively. And so many people don't have this. People go, "Oh, I'm going to go and hire a coach." Okay, cool. What kind of coach are you going to? Oh, ads. I'm like, okay, so you clearly have a lead problem, but what's your customer journey? What do you mean, what's the customer journey? I just need to sell shit to pay my bills. Fucking wrong attitude, man. Seriously. And then they wonder why they go from coach to coach, because all the fucking coaches out there, I haven't met a single coach that's asked someone to map out their customer experience. Right? Like, and I work with a lot of coaches. Like, there's a lot of coaches in our training program, right, inside the growth school or inside COD, and that's the first thing we say to them. What's your customer experience? And we walk through it. Like, tell me about it. So you need to be able to have that mapped out before you go and get yourself an ads coach, so you can go and be another one of those fucking people making all that noise out there, expecting people to buy from you when you don't even understand what that journey is going to look like. I'm in a bit of a mood, but I think the other thing is, having a really well defined blueprint about your customer's journey allows you to improve your product and service design. So if you have a blueprint, if you have a roadmap, whatever the hell you want to call it, this thing shouldn't be complex. It should be 5 areas that I mentioned earlier and mapped out, right? Like flow chart. And you can actually go and have a look at where the breakdown is. So you can actually provide better value to your customers. The other thing is, it also helps you develop effective marketing and communication tools, because if you start to then stress test each step, you can then actually make better decisions. Like, for example, in our business, we are brilliant at delivery. Like, we deliver probably in the top 2 or 3% of advisory and coaching businesses in the country. I'm happy to say that, right? And that's not just because of me. It's because of our whole team. It's the whole experience that we've created. It's we've combined one-on-one group coaching and masterminding in one product. And, people can buy from us from as little as $110 a week, or at $2,200 a month, or if they qualify for our invitation-only program, Boardroom, then it's $4,400 a month, right? So we've got, but what it is that we've created a customer journey that takes people from startup, or I've just started and I'm a social outcast, right? Like a first-time misfit starting business, all the way through to an established elephant, right?
Yeah.
$10, $15 million business that wants to have its own little advisory board, but doesn't want to go and spend 30, 40 grand a head count and have 5 people around the table at 150 grand. They want to get all of that for 40, which is great. Why wouldn't you? But then you build in the community, build in everything else. So we've only been able to grow our customer experience by understanding our own blueprint over time. And the other, and then what does it do? Is it creates increased customer retention. I mean, what are we sitting at? 97% retention rate in growth school, and I don't think there's any other program out there that can boast about that number. I know lots of people that are in my coaching circle, and their best performances are 43, 44%. Some are 11%. You're like, guys, you really need to, and why? They're fantastic at marketing, so they can bring the people in, but they haven't focused on, okay, what are you delivering, right?
Yeah.
And so, and that and everyone's different, right? So, whereas we would say that we aren't that great at marketing because we don't fill the pipe, but at the same time, we also reject 70% of people that apply. So the whole idea is that we go, sorry, you're just not the right fit. And we hyper qualify people to a point where we're trying to attract the right people every time. So there's all of those elements.
Yeah.
But again, knowing your customer experience and your journey allows you to understand that.
All right. So I'm absolutely convinced that I need to do this and I need to understand the customer journey. I need to map this out. What do I do? What if I do, if I don't know how to do this? Do I need to engage someone to look at it from a third party perspective? Do I need to try and change my mindset to look at it as a customer, but try not to be biased to my own business? How do I actually get started in doing this?
Well, look, I'm conscious that we've got 3 minutes before you have to jump into a live teaching with our COD members now.
COD, yeah.
So I'll just give you the steps. People can just replay this. You don't need to go and hire someone. You can come and talk to us. But essentially what you got to do is there's approximately 6 steps that you need to take. So one is obviously define your customer persona. And we spend a fair bit of time doing that in Customers on Demand. Identify all the touch points that are in your business. Assess your current state, right? So in terms of the interactions, are there any frustrations or obstacles? Map the ideal journey, like what you actually would love it to look like. And then what you want to do, the last 2 steps are implement any changes and monitor the results. So remember, you've got the maps now. You can actually sit there and map it out, work out each interaction and each step. And then you've got to basically iterate and optimize. Okay? So they're really 6 simple steps. And if people do them, and how do you do them? You utilize your customer feedback, you conduct the workshops, and you leverage all your analytics, right? IKEA are amazing at this. They provide robust examples of customer journey mapping. Think about how they reorganize their shop to drive you fucking crazy. But anyway, I know that you've got to go. So that's kind of how I would frame it. And apologies to everyone that we had so many technical difficulties that we can't give you the total 30 or 45 minute of experience. But you're going to have to deal with having a shortened version of the session.
Absolutely. And I think there's so much wealth in that. Just thinking about that. When was the last time you even thought about your customer journey or mapped it out? Because if it's something you've done quite a long time ago, perhaps it's now time to revisit that and think, oh, what's changed in the dynamics in the environment and with what I'm offering as a service or a product that I need to reflect on all of those things. So Kristian Lavolsi, thank you so much for your time and your insights, giving us all the wealth to get us thinking about customer journey. We thank our audience for being here. Drop us a hashtag replay if you caught this on replay, or if you have any other questions, we would love to hear from you. So Kristian, thank you once again. We'll be back next Tuesday with the hot seat.
Thanks, Simone.
Thank you for joining us on the hot seat. We hope today's session gave you valuable insights to drive your business forward.
Remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth.
Every question brings us closer to the answers that can transform our businesses. Stay connected with us, follow our journey, share your thoughts, and be a part of our community.
And don't forget to subscribe like, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss future episodes. Together, let's elevate your business to new heights.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Hot Seat.